told a story?
Yeah, that's the story.
Please try to get some sleep.
Rex keeps him down there. The mean old man with the claws.
Dylan.
Sorry, Doc. What was that?
Dylan, what's really bothering you?
Had a nightmare last night.
Tell me about it.
2 people died this time.
What do you mean 2 people died? How?
One shot himself and the other slit her own throat.
Why do you think they did that?
I don't know. Why does anything happen in a dream?
Just want to be sure that these dreams you're having aren't symptomatic of a resurgence of your childhood trauma.
Well, they're not.
Are you getting your rest?
It's been manageable, Doc. I think I have it under control.
Hear me? Did I not unmute the mic? There we go. Well, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. We'll do that all over again. Yeah, we're here to watch Dylan's new Nightmare tonight. I am pumped to watch this one with you guys. We'll do a little commentary. I've got some snacks. I've got pizza. I've got a cream soda. I've got popcorn. I don't know what you guys have, but let me know in the chat what you're snacking on. And have you guys seen this one before? Yeah. It's so funny because I tried muting the mic last time before we started with Movie Date with Davey and Kate, and it didn't seem like muting it that way would work. It seemed like I actually had to turn the dial down. But now I know that muting it with the button actually works. All right, so in the chat, we've got Antonis, we've got Blue Wolf 87. What's happening, Gary? Happy early birthday. We've got Tyler Adams, Toronto Ferretti. What's happening, man? We've got Allie, we've got Jean. All right. And we've got, I don't know what that name is. It seems to be in some sort of characters that I don't know how to pronounce, but let me know your name so I know how to say what's up. I saw you on the Movie Date with Davey and Kate stream as well just the other night. All right, and who else do we have here? Ashton, what's happening, man? Welcome, welcome. All right, French fries. Let's see what else you guys have here. Snaking on the souls of my victims. That's always a good snack. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, so Antonis has seen this one. Allie has seen this one. Who has not seen Dylan's new Nightmare? Let me know in the chat if you haven't seen this. And then Antonis says, what would you say is your favorite Elm Street movie in the franchise? Antonis, I think I have to go with the original, just because Freddy's got that kind of creepy vibe on the original. I really like part 2 as well. And part 3 is all right. I mean, it's fine. Nothing wrong with part 3. It's definitely where Freddy kind of like came into his own as far as the Freddy that we would know for the rest of the series. And I also really like New Nightmare. But yeah, I think I would pick the first one. All right. Allie has seen Dylan's New Nightmare several times. It's so good. Tyler has a Habit Burger, fries, and a root beer. Damn, that's awesome. Well, thank you for spending your dinner with us, not sharing your dinner. That would be kind of difficult, right, with this whole thing. Hey, what's happening, Dave? Dave McCrae is in the chat, y'all. That's amazing. Dave says, sorry I couldn't make it on, Davey, but really glad you're doing this. Have a great watch along, everybody. And boo. Awesome. So great to see Dave in here. Dave is one of the YouTubers, I mean, really the main YouTuber that really made me want to take this leap. I love watching Dave, and I see all you guys in the chat there when he's doing his videos, and I'm in the chat as well. So really appreciate Dave stopping by. Yeah, I had reached out to some of the cast and crew, not really expecting they would like stream along with us the whole time, but you know, essentially just saying it would be great if you guys want to pop in, say what's up to everyone in the chat. So that's super awesome of Dave. I know everyone lives busy lives, and Saturday night can be a busy time, whether it's recreation or work, right? So really appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out with us here. And I guess, I mean, us, the royal us, it's just me, although you never know. Kate could drop in if you bug her enough. Allie, if you want to see Kate, you're going to have to hit her up and beg her in here for me. Allie says, Dave is so freaking hilarious. Love his streams. Yeah, Dave is amazing. And Dream Warriors is Allie's favorite. All right. Yeah, Gary, I agree with you. His Freddy performance is top notch. Dave knocks it out of the park in this one. One of the first videos I did, actually, I think my very first video was like a super spoiler-free, just mini review because I had seen the film at Mad Monster at the pre-screening. So it wasn't even, I think they still had to make some adjustments on the film before they put it out. So it wasn't the version we're going to watch here. But yeah, he completely blew me away as Freddy. And I did a little mini review. And then when the film was released, I got into a little bit more of it and a little more detail. Although I try to keep those reviews spoiler-free. So yeah, we will not spoil anything here for all you that haven't seen it yet. We'll just let you enjoy it for the first time. And hopefully me talking over it doesn't ruin that experience for you. What's happening, Paul? Evil Monsterism is in the house. All right. Well, we got a pretty good group here. Really appreciate you guys coming by. You know, the channel is just still, to me, I know it's been about 8 months or so, but to me, it just still seems so new, you know? So it's really cool to see a little bit of an audience built up. Holy crap, we have got actual people in the chat. This is kind of blowing my mind. And Kate is in the living room. We've also got Lord Gary, executive producer. I am doing great. How about you, Lord Gary? Dave says, you're killing it, Davey. I appreciate all the kind words from everyone in regards to Freddy. Thank you. Yeah, man. It's, I mean, I guess if I felt lukewarm about it, I probably just wouldn't have said much, right? I think there is that sort of, coming from the performance side, because I would play music and stuff like that. You know, usually people are very positive and keep it positive. And, but yeah, I mean, I think that it was one of those things where I knew that Dave had the chops vocal-wise, and clearly he's a really expressive guy. So it's all about that makeup at that point. I think Nora Hewitt, along with the sculpting work that Mikey Rotella put together here, is pretty damn impressive stuff. And before we get going on the film, I do want to take a look at the Finishing Funds campaign with you guys. Let me know in the chat if you guys have purchased anything from the Indiegogo. Whether it's a Blu-ray, DVD, poster, anything like that, even a digital copy of the film. But yeah, we can hop on over and take a look at that. And yeah, so cool that Dave is hanging out. You know, I hope for a little dip in and a what's up, but this is really cool, and hopefully I don't get too nervous. Let's see here. Lord Gary is at the end credits of Dylan's New Nightmare. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. Yeah, you know, as far as like the crowd, like getting in on the early part of the crowdfunding, I missed that opportunity, but I did pick up a copy of the movie on Blu-ray. So I don't think my name is in the credits. I don't think so, but you know, I've told this story before. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Probably only if you've gone back and watched the old videos, but when Kate and I went to Mad Monster last summer, I believe it was July 10th, I was kind of at a little bit of like a crossroads in my life where I was like, I've been wanting to do this YouTube thing for like 14 years, like pretty much ever since I saw the Angry Video Game Nerd. I kind of wanted to do something with YouTube, didn't really know what. And then the campaign started for It's Me Billy Chapter 2, and there's that really great associate producer perk in there. And I think they still have one, so it's not too late if you guys want to be an associate producer. And one of the perks that's rolled into that is being able to go on an episode of McCrae Live. And I'd been watching Dave since 2017, since he started doing his coverage for Halloween 2018. And, you know, I was at that point where I'm like, man, I think I need to take a bit of a leap of faith, like on myself, on these filmmakers, these independent filmmakers who not only do I respect their opinions and respect what they do as content creators on YouTube, but people that show that they clearly know what they're doing behind and in front of the camera, and also like the storytelling side of it. Like, you have to trust someone's storytelling capabilities. One thing that Dave really lays out in his streams is you can tell that he knows what makes a good story and what doesn't work, and he can articulate those things. So I had a lot of trust in that for sure. And so, you know, I was mulling it over. I'm like, I kind of want to start a channel. I kind of want to do this associate producer thing. And Kate, my wife, was like, dude, you just need to like decide to do it and just do it. So I pulled the trigger the day of Mad Monster on July 10th, decided to become an associate producer on It's Me Billy Chapter 2. I knew Dave was going to be there in full Freddy makeup. And so I thought, hey, what better way to get to meet somebody that's inspired me so much than to be able to tell him that not only am I a fan, but I'm also going to put my money where my mouth is and support what he does as a filmmaker. So, you know, that was really a cool moment to get to meet him. And then, you know, hopefully by the time that I get to appear on that episode of McCrae Live, we got a handful of people in that chat that know a little bit about me, and you guys get to know me a little bit more because we are going to talk Evil Dead on that episode. And yeah, I just, you know, it just kind of pushed me to get this channel going. Sometimes in life, you have to take a leap of faith. You have to bet on yourself, essentially. And then it's all about the follow-up. And you know, I'll say this to anyone that's thinking about starting their own channel, or they've wanted to and they just haven't for whatever reason. The toughest thing is putting that first video out. And I shit you not, when I put out that first video on my phone doing a spoiler-free quick review of Dylan's New Nightmare, support started flooding in through DMs of channels that I had watched for years that just thought it was cool that I was finally doing it. Like, I know the video was so bare bones, right? But the YouTube community is so supportive, and I was thinking about this earlier today because I came from the punk rock community, and I always assumed that within the world of punk rock, because you're kind of fringe in that world, that people would stick together, people would have each other's backs, and people would lift each other up. And in that world, at least as far as being a musician goes, I found a lot of competition, a lot of people that want a space for themselves but don't want to necessarily help carve out a space for others, and just a lot of, you know, it's tough to assume that people are just always going to give you their best, because I completely understand that people want to get theirs first, right? However, on YouTube, and I'm sure that element exists here on YouTube, I mean, no doubt, but I think here on YouTube, it's been so much more welcoming. You know, you guys have heard me talk about the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast, how supportive they've been of the channel. We've got people like Chris Snyder over at Movie Misfits that's very supportive. Matt Facci at Facci Cinema. Wolfman's got Nards. Barry reached out I reached out to Barry because he was talking about collabs, and we're working on something right now. So I think it's one of those things where you just dive in, you start doing it, get comfortable with your voice. And by the time you're getting comfortable, there's going to be some people that want to work with you and put some stuff together. So let me catch up on the chat here because I've been blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Keep a lookout for Lord Gary Dando. All right, man. We'll pause that moment when it comes. And Gary, it is great to see Miko Hughes reprise his role. He is totally jacked in this film. And yeah, taking a big break from acting like that, and also like being a child actor. Maybe being a child actor, there's a little more ease because you don't know about all the trappings of adulthood and people judging you. And so maybe for certain child performers, it's a little easier to be natural because that's all you know. It's the innocence of childhood. So yeah, for Miko to come back, and perform the way he performed. I think he did a killer job. I bumped into him right before the screening at Mad Monster last year, and he had like 2 drinks in his hands, and he was just like, I'm so fucking nervous right now. It was great. Let's see here. AVGN was my first introduction to the YouTuber world as well. Yeah, Toronto Freddy, the Elm Street Nintendo game. And you know what? What's funny about that is LJN does terrible video games most of the time. But that, A Nightmare on Elm Street video game on the Nintendo is really damn good. I think it does such a great job of blending that platforming action video game world with the first 3 Freddy movies, first 3 Nightmare on Elm Streets, especially obviously Dream Warriors because there's the superpowers. But it's got some cool atmosphere and yeah, I mean, LJN doesn't do great games, but that is, I think, easily the best one. Let me know in the chat if you think there's a better LJN game, and you better not say Back to the Future. Dave McCrae says, it meant a lot, Davey, and was definitely a cool moment for me, too. Your channel will only continue to grow. Nothing is gained without risk. Absolutely, Dave. I completely agree. And also, you know, the way I feel about doing this and as the collaborations start to build, it's like... you know, I don't ever feel like I'm owed something or I deserve it just because I'm on here. To me, it's about trying to make every video better, every thumbnail better if I can, just getting to know more of you guys better and connecting with that audience. I've said it before, but you know, I may be the CEO of the channel, but you guys are the shareholders and the channel isn't worth shit without you. So I love you guys here and really appreciate the engagement in the comments section, the subs, everyone who shares the channel. It's really cool to see that happen too. All right, so, you know, I've jabbered on for like 20 minutes. Maybe this is why Darren says that I remind him of a young Dave McCrae, because here I am just talking. All right, let's check out some of the perks. We're going to hop on over to the website with the Indiegogo. Okay. So yeah, it's a finishing funds campaign. So yeah, they've already raised the money to shoot the film, obviously. But this is still a great opportunity to pick up some swag from the, you know, from the production here. So there's a really cool digital download pack that includes, you know, you get, let's see here, a copy of both the short and the teaser scripts and exclusive commentary. So I think that's pretty cool to have the digital copies of the scripts to follow along if you want to see, you know, how that whole world kind of goes. Writing a script is different than writing, you know, a story, and there's like a certain format. So I always find it pretty cool to dive into a script. I've got one for the original Day of the Dead script that Romero wrote when it was going to be, originally it was going to be a $7 million production. And it got whittled down to like 3 because he wanted to do a not rated film. So yeah, it's really cool to see that format and see how, you know, a screenwriter tries to, you know, give you all the images, but just with words, tries to paint that picture for you. So, and that's just $10 for that perk. And yeah, you can watch the movie on YouTube and all that stuff. I do think it's really important, I say it all the time here, to support independent filmmakers and independent artists. I think it's one of the best ways that you can use your money. I mean, you know, you could go to the store and just buy something that's mass produced, but you could actually, you know, support somebody that's trying to make this their career, which I think is a pretty powerful thing and a pretty encouraging thing for sure. Now this is really cool too. They've got a whole bunch of variants of these posters. They're $20 a piece, and they do come with a digital download pack. So you still get everything that you get here, and for 10 more bucks you get a poster. This is like the official artwork here for the film, as far as I remember, the Freddy glove going through Rex there. And then I really like this flames behind Freddy look here. And the cool thing is, you know, it's just like about your taste, like which one you like. And you do have the option of buying every single one all together. So we'll take a look at that down the line. Here's another one that features Rex there. Very reminiscent of A New Nightmare. Really cool design there as well. This is a pretty cool little, like, almost like it's got that hand painted. Gosh, I'm totally zoning out on the artist, but who's the guy? And Dave, if he's still in the chat, we'll get this in about 0.2 seconds. The guy that did like the Star Wars artwork for the posters and the Indiana Jones. It's got that nice like painted look. Freddy in shadow. That's really cool. We've got another one featuring the glove and Rex and Freddy's arm there. Cool shit. I really love this one. Something about the hat with the glove coming out of it is a really, really sweet look. If I were to pick one, this is probably my favorite right here. I would pick that one, and I would want Dave McRae's signature in silver there. And this is another really cool, like, painted look, Star Wars, Indiana Jones kind of vibe here. Really like that look as well. And it's sort of reminiscent of, I guess, the original poster a little bit with Freddy's glove coming up from underneath. And does Dream Warriors have something similar? Or am I just, is that Mandela effect? I'm not sure. So you can also get a DVD or a Blu-ray copy of the film. So DVD for $23, Blu-ray just for $25. So you might as well upgrade and go with that Blu-ray option for $25. Also includes the digital download pack. So you still get that script and all that good stuff. And we've got some screen-used hatchet signs. You'll see those in the beginning of the film as we go on. So that's pretty cool to have something that's from the actual film. There's going to be a few of those props and all that set decoration kind of stuff. Now this one here, if you guys want to buy me a birthday present, my birthday is the 18th of May. I will be 42 years old. I know I don't look a day over 30. But yeah, $40 for the dual-sided vinyl album. I think that's actually a great deal because I buy a lot of vinyl, and usually for brand new vinyl, it's about $30 nowadays. If you're buying something that's still shrink wrapped and all that. I think vinyl's such a great investment as far as money goes. If you're a music fan, huge upside on the investment. Vinyl is worth a lot, and not only that, I still think it's the best way to listen to music other than, being in a room with the band. So yeah, $40 for the vinyl album. That's awesome. And then we've got some screen-used Dr. Silba diplomas. That's pretty cool to have a screen-used item. Just $50 for something that was in the movie, and you can frame it and put it in your spot there. Oh, thank you, Gary. Yeah. Hey, well, you know what? Let's not get too ahead of it with my birthday. We're still over a month away. Let's celebrate your birthday today since it's coming up here in just a handful of hours Michigan time, right? So you're just about 3.5 hours away. And here's some more screen-used stuff that's pretty cool here. The screen-used pen from Dr. Silba. That's the clean pen, so you can get your click, 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 click on there if you want. Screen-used Dr. Silba notepad. This is really cool stuff to get things that have actually been handled by the cast, used by everyone while making the film. We got the dream catcher. This looks like not the one that Freddy cuts up. I thought that moment was great. Freddy is just such a character, so his sass and his attitude is kind of what it's all about, right? And then the screen-used audition script page with a splatter of blood on it, $50. That is too cool. And here we go with an undamaged Rex replica for $60. Also, I'm kind of skimming over it just in the interest of time, but these come with the digital download pack. So if you purchase one of these screen-used items, you still get a digital copy of the film to watch. So that's pretty cool that that's all included there. Signed copy of the script. Now that for $60. So for $60, you're going to get Cecil Laird, Vincent DeSanti, Ben Meredith, the director of photography, Miko Hughes, Dave McRae, Nora Hewitt, who did the makeup, Ron Sloan, and Cindy Cania. So Ron Sloan has a little part in this film. You will not be able to tell by seeing him in this film, but he is Junior from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. He looks completely different. He totally slimmed down. In his, once he got out of his younger years there. And Cindy Cania, she was in Friday the 13th, Part 6. She's one of the late night picnickers with Roger, I think it's Roger Rose, who's a big time producer, voice actor, all that kind of stuff. So, but for some reason, they are having a picnic late at night, and it's clear like what he wants from the transaction, but also they do have like the full basket out and the food and everything. It's hilarious. Thank you guys so much. Really, you're too kind for saying happy birthday so long before my birthday. But I love that from you guys. That's amazing. What's happening? We got Robert the Wolfman in the chat. Robert worked on the production side. Robert, let us know in the chat, specifically what you worked on, because I know that you do, is it set design and prop work, right? So whatever specific items you had worked on in the film, I'd love to, and everyone in the chat would love to know, to look out for those things when they pop up there. And folks, you can also get a signed copy of the Blu-ray for $60. That's got everyone's signature on there. It looks great. I mean, come on, if you're looking for something to put up in your office or your game room or just wherever you nerd out, and find that alone time, not that kind of alone time. Come on, guys. Mine's out of the gutter, all right. All right, let's see here. Looking forward to getting my DNN Blu-ray. Also have the Ghost Cut and Never Hike Alone 2 ordered. Hell yeah, Toronto Freddy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Never Hike Alone 2 coming out on Blu-ray. That'll be really cool. And I think I got I think it's the Jarvis and Jason bundle or whatever. So it comes with some other, I think there's going to be some signatures involved there. So, I got it like before the film debuted in October. So I'm sort of like blanking on everything that's included there. But yeah, guys, you can also get DNN enamel pins, $75 for the whole set. You can get the complete poster set for $75. That also comes with the digital download pack. All right, so Robert, he did set design. He was a cook and an extra, along with a ton of pre- and post-production stuff. Hell yeah, Robert cooks really good food. I was over at the Horror Show channel, little 10-year celebration. There was a huge group of us there, and Robert cooked up some shish kebabs that were very, very tasty. Screen used glasses strap worn by Ron Sloan, $100, and also comes with a digital download pack. Screen used damaged Dreamcatcher. There it is. There's the one that Freddy cuts up in the film. And then, hey guys, this is a really cool thing too. You could do a backer audio commentary. So only one of these 4 spots have been taken. So you and 3 other backers could hop on your own commentary, and then that will be included, right? Included on the Blu-ray. So till the end of time, you'll be able to check that out, and everyone else can listen to you as well. And I'm gonna have a little bite of popcorn. You can also get the damaged replica Rex stuffed animal, $120 for that bad boy. Screen used tape recorder, the broken one. So they must have pieced that one back together, right? Screen used audition knife, $150. Also comes with a digital download pack. Screen used audition room banner. That's pretty cool. You can see that hanging up in the back, yeah, as the audition goes on. Screen used audition nightmare banner. I think I noticed this the first time today because I rewatched the film just so I could kind of brush up on everything. And I don't know if I noticed this before this viewing, which is another reason why I love going back and watching movies over and over again. Bloody screen use shirt worn by Ron Sloan, $300. Where does Cecil have that, do you think, Robert? Is that wrapped up in some plastic somewhere? Let me know. Screen used Dr. Silva clothes worn by Cynthia Cania. Replica DNN glove. That is for you hardcore Fred heads out there. $500 gets you that bad boy. Screen used Freddy teeth worn by Dave McRae. Now, you guys didn't clean them, right? It still has all of the DNA in there, so we can clone Dave if we ever have to. Please let me know in the chat, anyone that knows that. Screen used Dr. Silva arm gore effect. Well, I said we weren't going to spoil anything before we started, but I guess some of the perks are giving away some of the story. And a screen used Freddy glove. We got $1,500 for one of those. Now that is an incredible piece right there. Hell yeah. And looks like they used another one there, $1,500 for that second one. You always got to have a backup. The screen used prosthetic Freddy mask for $3,500. So, man, that is, I would imagine that's Mikey Rotella's work there, and then Nora adds makeup to that sculpt. I'm not sure if you can let me know there in the chat, Robert. Screen used prosthetic number 1 for $4,000, and prosthetic number 2 $4,000 as well. So yeah, you know, not everyone's got $4,000. You know, just sitting there that they can, you know, shovel out for something like that. But if you have the means and horror is something that you are passionate about, I think it's well worth the price. It's really cool to have something that's, you know, unique. Like, there are only 2 of these in the whole world. So at some point, someone's going to own one of these, because I'd imagine even after this campaign closes, I wouldn't be surprised to see this stuff go to auction in some capacity. So yeah, guys, hop on over to the Indiegogo website, either while you're watching the film or once we're done with this commentary. I've got a link in the description below. You can also, you know, just watch the film on your own if you don't want to hear me blah-blahing through everything there. So Robert has all the wardrobe and bags in the closet, so they're preserved. That's pretty awesome. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, any last words before we jump into the film here, everybody? Freddy's sculpt was done by Mikey Rotella, and the prosthetics and makeup by Nora. Okay, so yeah, that mask that pulls over was Mikey Rotella, and then Nora adds her magic on top. That's awesome. And thank you so much, Robert, for showing up. I really, you know, was hoping that we would get, you know, some folks from the production in here. We had Dave in here earlier. I'm not sure if you were in the chat when he had popped in to say what's up to everyone and hang out for a minute. But especially because I know you're there for all the horror show going on. So, you know, just to have that insight from somebody that was there during the production is really cool, man. So thank you so much. All right. And yeah, Robert, are you pumped for, is it Lee Winnell that's doing that Wolfman movie? We haven't had a chance to talk about that. So let me know if you're pumped for that one. I'd imagine you are, because I know that werewolf movies are your thing. All right. Favorite kill by Freddy in the franchise? Man, that's so tough, Antonis. You know what I'm going to do, though? Because Lord Gary had requested that the next ranking film or ranking of a franchise that we do here on the channel would be Nightmare on Elm Street. So I am going to rewatch all of the films in the franchise, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what my favorite kill is. Trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, Glenn's kill in the original, is that Johnny Depp? Glenn? I think that's a pretty awesome kill, right? Filling the whole room with blood, but also, you know, they use that same room just dressed up differently, I think, for Tina's death. And I would say Tina's death is probably like the most just like visceral and disturbing, at least in the first film. So yeah, let's jump on over to the movie. Excuse my snacking sounds. Hopefully it's unintentional ASMR in the best way. And yeah, you know, just so I don't forget, you guys are great about this. I know I don't have to tell you, but if you don't mind clicking that like button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then why are you hanging out? Come on, subscribe. That's all it takes is a click of the button. We are 27 subs away from 500. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had just hit 400. And then, you know, Slaughtered Lamb had mentioned the channel a couple times on their show, and it's just kind of popped off a little bit. So, yeah, just 27 away from a really big milestone. And yeah, again, if you guys think that there's anyone in your life that would enjoy this kind of content, just point them in this direction, right? Why not? Allie, I know that you're doing everything you can, right? Allie is, let's round of applause in the chat for Allie. She is a cheerleader for so many channels, you know, whose content she enjoys. She's really great about just sharing all that stuff and being just such a great part of the community. We couldn't do it without you, Allie. It's so awesome to see somebody out there that wants to share the content just as much as the creators themselves. So that's really awesome. What's happening, Vanderhoff? Welcome to the chat. Oh yeah. And you know, Blake from All the Good Names Are Taken podcast said he was going to be here for this, and I'm kind of like milking the intro section so he doesn't miss the movie. Because he said he's never seen it before, which I have a tough time believing. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the film, shall we? If I can find it. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. There we go. Right? Is it over here? Gosh, guys, can I even figure it out? Oh, for some reason now we're having a little bit of an issue with XSplit. So bear with me, guys. Am I frozen there on the chat? Oh my goodness, what's happening? Holy cow, people. Technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. I have no idea what was going on there. Appreciate you guys bearing with me here. I understand, yes, the following content may contain. May contain or does contain? Man, I don't know what's going on. Let's talk amongst ourselves, huh? There you go. And for some reason it decided to play all the way. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all dealing with me through the difficulties here. And yeah, let's get going with the film. Here we go. In association with Womp Stomp Films. Dylan's New Nightmare. You got it, Gary. DNN sequel needs a rotating set piece. That could be really cool. So here we go. We got Fuego there on the right side. He's another horror show regular. Love Fuego.
Who even writes this shit now?
Certainly not Adam. He's just cashing checks at this point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks for coming in, Frankie. We'll be in touch. It's Franklin, actually.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Look at that epic lighting behind Dylan. Great transition.
My name's
Love
Dylan
it.
Porter. I'm repped by the Risher Agency.
Hold on. I gotta go. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, my name's Dylan Porter. I'm repped by the Risher Agency, and
Antonis, copyright for who? You know, they are not making money off of it, so they're able to, you know, make a fan film as long as they use that disclaimer.
How do I know that name? Do I know you, Dylan?
I don't think so.
Now, come on, tell me how.
So yeah, that's Ron
tell
Sloan Jr. from Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. It's wild.
Wait. Are you related to Chase Porter?
Yeah, that was my dad.
Oh, man. Your dad and I worked back together on Chainsaw 3. Well, you were just like...
And then we've got Courtney there on the right side.
Oh, I love it.
She did the
wild.
wardrobe.
Yeah.
Did she just, Robert, can you let us know, did she pick out the wardrobe, or did she actually, like, is she a seamstress that put together items?
He really was one of the...
I met her at Gathering of the Ghouls. She was very, very sweet.
Yeah.
And we got Cecil in the chat, the Horror Show channel, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Cecil? Hey, man, you're welcome. Of course, this is a blast to do this kind of stuff, for sure.
Yeah, I'd really rather not talk about all that, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and Miko's performance here, just really nice, like, subtle,
Let's get on with the scene.
you know, subtle looks that he gives, and, you know, just playing it cool. Like, I like that it's not overly expressive. It's very believable for, like, what his character's been through, and also the fact that he's still trying to be a performer and kind of be in this world that, you know, for him, can still bring up those unpleasant memories.
Interior rundown shed.
Courtney picked out and also designed. Yeah, awesome.
All three survivors. And
You're right, Tyler.
Rose
Such a
and Michael are
natural,
all regrouping after
natural
Victor
performance.
Crowley's last attack.
We can't keep this up. Do you both
Toronto
hear me? We
Freddy.
can't
Yeah,
keep
she
doing
would be,
this.
right? With that
We
gift
run,
of,
we
you
hide,
know, putting
Crowley
together the
finds us,
outfits and everything.
Crowley kills someone. I mean, that's the sick joke of this whole
The beard is
situation.
on point.
We're trapped in a swamp full of hiding places, but there is nowhere to hide. Not from him.
Got my
Not
Michael
even
Myers
walls keep him
mug.
out.
So what's your point?
My point, Rose, is if we can't hide, why are we still trying? We can't just wait around for that freak like you two did. That's what got my sister killed. I can tell you one thing for sure. If she were here with us now, she'd agree with me.
He was pushed into a jet engine and he still came back. He's cursed to come back every day like new, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, well, if there's a curse, there's a way to break it. Otherwise, he kills, he dies, he just keeps coming back. More people die. Good people. Like Heather.
Yeah, I'm eating pizza. I'm watching a movie.
Well, I'm not gonna let that happen. Even if I have to do this by myself, I'm killing that murderer for good.
Love it. I feel like this is like foreshadowing for something he's gonna have to say in the, you know, the follow-up here.
I can try something different if you want me
Nothing?
Oh, I think we've all seen.
This miming that Ron does, even the breath in and everything, it's matched up so well with Dave's voice. It's incredible. I mean, I would imagine that's Dave's voice that's overdubbed, right? Whoa!
Jesus Christ!
Oh, Dylan. Look what's become of you.
That voice.
Love that kind of corkscrew on the camera. And then this shot, the changing of the color, the timing and editing on that is beautiful. And yeah, Dave as Freddy kind of like finding his shape. I love that. The physical acting there.
You're dead. We killed you. We killed you once and for all.
Once and for a time, maybe. But never once and for all. Face it, Dylan.
Yeah, Dave.
You may be all grown up, but you're still my little baby.
Yeah, Allie.
Fucking dream. You're not real, and I need to wake up. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake the fuck up!
Wake up.
I love that, you know, Dave is able to find that joy. Like, there is a joy that Freddy has with everything he does, you know? Love that shot of the camera looking down. Just, you know, things that are... And then this with Dave walking down the wall. I have no idea how this was done. That one kind of blows my mind right there.
Little piggy.
And then for you...
Play our favorite game.
For you Never Hike Alone 2 fans, you're about to see... that shot. Which the first time I saw this at Mad Monster, I was like, so there's going to be a Freddy versus Jason, right? Because I felt like, well, that just puts us... that's a cinematic way of saying that these two films take place in the same world, right? Yeah, I agree with you guys, Gary and Antonis. Like, Dave should get a shot on a, you know, a bigger level, or I guess maybe even just bring Cecil in to do the next Freddy movie. Why the hell not? Get Vin to do Jason, get Cecil to do Freddy. Miko's jacked. I just talked right over it, but he looks like he's ready to play Wolverine with how, you know, rockin' he's got to this point.
Dylan?
Love that sound design.
Dylan.
Sorry, Doc. What was that?
I was asking how you hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a cabinet was stuck. I just Give myself a shiner.
I see.
Yeah, I really like this,
Dylan,
that wide
what's
shot
really
there.
bothering you?
It's got some really nice symmetry.
Had a nightmare last night.
There we
Tell me
go.
about it.
Robert the Wolfman. Technically, we had
This is
shot
another
that flip
audition.
transition before
Well,
Never Hike
plenty of
Alone 2
working
did it.
actors
All
have
right.
those. It's hardly anything
So
to
your shot
worry or be
inspired the
embarrassed
Never Hike
about.
Alone 2 shot, and to me it sort of
died
says
this
with that cinematic language that these films could take place within that same universe.
How?
So the two people next to the casting director,
Another great use of that sound design.
one shot himself and the other slid.
Why do you think they did that?
Yeah, Gene, me too.
It was a dream.
Freddie,
I don't know.
Toronto Freddie, yes.
Dream.
Miko
Dreams can
as
mean a
Wolverine,
multitude
that
of
could be
different
really cool.
things, almost all of which can be applied as some kind of lesson to the person who psychologically created them in the first place.
I don't know if there was a lesson in this.
He's the right age, too.
Am I supposed to wear a splash guard to my next audition?
Quit effing around,
Using
Dylan.
humor to cope with scary situations is an old school tactic, Dylan, but not one proven to be very effective.
Maybe that's why I'm an actor, not a comedian.
Did the subject of your parents come up?
These shots here, the back and forth, you know, like a mirror kind of image of the
casting
framing.
director recognized me.
Really
when I
nice
was a
stuff
kid.
by Ben.
He
Yeah,
was-
Ben
he was asking
Meredith,
about my
man.
dad.
Knocked it out of the park here.
And your mother? Did he ask
Cecil, was that, was Ben's work on here, was it pretty collaborative, or, you know, what would you say is like how would you divvy it up between you already knowing how you want something shot to him sort of saying, hey, I've got an idea, or I think we could do this? Like, how much of that
Answer's always the
creative
same.
side of it was Ben
Not
involved
well enough to
with?
come to the phone. Same old loony bin, different day.
Do it, Robert, do it.
No, it just hurts.
You know, maybe your casting director brought her up because
Miko
you were
Reed.
feeling guilty about not checking in.
Maybe.
Yeah, Paul, it's very natural
Trust me,
like,
Dylan, I
right?
understand your hesitation to check in on her.
I mean, I'd
especially when there
imagine they
doesn't ever
have,
seem to be any positive
you know, you probably
progress.
always have lights when you're shooting, right? But you can
That
see
same
a lot of that light
hesitation
coming in from the
feeds your
outside.
Subconscious guilt like a sleeping giant. That guilt can slowly build up over time and eventually, in most cases, come exploding out at the most inopportune moment. The very act of checking in on her to see how she's doing can act as sort of a pressure release valve for your guilt.
Antonis, I would say
That
Wes
way,
Craven's
even
New
though you
Nightmare,
continue to get the answer you're not looking for,
just
at
a
least
little
you
bit more to
tried.
work with. But he's also really hilarious in Kindergarten Cop. Like, if you guys haven't seen Kindergarten Cop, Miko is a total standout in that film.
What about the casting director?
What do you mean?
Well, you said the other two people died, but what happened to the casting director? Did they kill themselves also?
Well, he definitely didn't turn into Freddy.
He laughed at me.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? If so, this is the place to discuss it. Dylan, are you sure there was nobody else in your dream?
All right. Thank you, Cecil.
no, he,
Appreciate that, man. Basically, you tell him,
Laughed at me, and
Cecil would tell Ben what he was looking for, and then Ben would, you know, let him know how you could closely
We've been
achieve
working
what that idea
professionally
was.
together for a number of years.
Creative
Your
and
history
practical.
over that time, I can't imagine what you went through when your mother started getting confused. It had a lot to do with her horror films, from what I understood from her doctor.
He's getting
When we
uncomfortable.
started this journey, you mentioned that you had been exposed to those films at a young age as well. I just want to be sure that you're having these dreams is not symptomatic of
Yeah,
an
Tyler, I
insurgence
agree.
of
The
your
lighting.
childhood trauma.
I think, you know, I was gonna say that when right before Dave was like walking down the wall. You know, it's just the shots looking down down the wall as Dylan's like hitting up against the door. You know, it's those are the things that, you know, you can call these fan films, but when you see how creative and how professional the films look, and you see that high level of production, and yeah, I think lighting is a huge part in making a film look legit. I watched a little bit of Texas Chainsaw 3D yesterday because Matt Facci was doing a watch-along, and it's lit really poorly, so it doesn't look professional, even though it is. You know, to me, lighting and sound design are the two biggest things.
No, I think I'm okay.
Tyler.
Unfortunately,
I'm glad
our
somebody
time's
said
up.
it, Tyler.
Yeah.
We're going to have to pick this up next session. But let me suggest in the future that you don't wait until the end.
Yeah,
of the
Robert,
session
I
to
follow
bring something
Ben
back with
on
tremendous
Insta,
implications
and
for you.
yeah, his
No,
everything that
that's
he
fair.
posts looks gorgeous as far as all the projects he's
Nightmares
working on,
first.
whether it's a director or as director of photography, and even just some of his still images. Yeah, the guy's got some talent there for sure. I mean, big time. And in true ode to an 80s slasher motif, we've got the theme song playing here. Running from this dream warrior. It's a great little track. Got that 80s feel. Toronto Freddy. Yeah, you're right, Gene. Yeah, Freddy is, you know, dark, evil, still finds that joy in it, and he's got this, you know, what a great look they put together here for Dave's Freddy. Yeah, Gary. There we go, that Pamplemousse Lacroix. Nancy and the Dream Warriors. Thank you, Allie. I knew it was Nancy and something. But sometimes when you're in the middle of these live things, all the information, half of the information you have just goes in this weird, like, area of your brain.
Hey, my name is Dylan Porter. I was calling, hoping to speak with my mother, Heather, if she's available.
Oh, is she on staff here?
No, she's a patient.
Oh, I apologize. And you said her name was Heather? Heather Porter?
Oh, no, not Heather Porter, Heather Langenkamp?
Yeah, Dylan. Or, yeah, Dylan. Yeah, Tyler. I'm losing it over here. Nancy and the Nightmares. There it is. Thank you, Cecil. Appreciate you.
Can you hold?
Yeah, no problem.
I knew I had the song title right. Couldn't think of the band name in my head. I knew it was Nancy and something. And here I thought I did my homework earlier today. Terrible. Antonis, I think some of it was filmed in California. Wasn't it both, guys? I'm not sure. I mean, some of those shots are of LA, so at least some of those establishing shots were done in California. Allie, you led me astray!
Hello? Mr. Porter?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry, but Miss Langenkamp is not feeling up to coming to the phone.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try back again in a few weeks, we can see if she's feeling up to it then.
Yeah, of course. Can you just keep me posted if anything changes?
It's got to be such a difficult thing, right?
Have a good day now.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Like you put that line out there to talk to your mom, and it's just sort of like, when's this gonna happen? 6 days in AZ, 1 day in LA. Yeah, Allie, you're fired. Get out of here. I'm gonna Photoshop your head onto a stupid poster. Poor Photoshop work by Davey Deathray. Yeah, I figured, Robert, the driving looks like it's in LA too. That's the movie magic, you know? Just need some establishing shots, a couple shots here and there, a couple pickups, and everything else just done in a totally different location. That music, man. Seriously. Let me just grab my coat and here. Okay. Great sound design with the cracking. Gene, remind me, and I'll tell you after the film.
Fuck you too, kid.
I love it. And yeah, again, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Those sound design moments with those little looks. The disrespect, Freddy.
You can't catch me.
But Dave. Love that moment, turning off the light. So cool. Yeah, Gary, they're definitely going for, you know, I mean, that's the idea, right? That this is like a legacy sequel to A New Nightmare. And, you know, and Freddy also has, there's elements of like part 2 Freddy from Freddy's Revenge. A little bit of the demon Freddy from Freddy vs. Jason. But yeah, I would say A New Nightmare, yeah. Yeah, those horns, Toronto Freddy. So good. Never Hike Alone 2 has the really good like horns. I don't know if it's synth horns or what, but just I really like that blah blah kind of sound.
Porter seems to be regressing back to the paranoid state of his childhood. When I tried to dive deeper into the subject, Dylan's guard immediately raised. I fear Dylan may be making a return to his childhood delusions. But can they really be taking the same form as before? That character from his mother's films? What is really concerning to me is that Dylan is around the same age as his mother when she was first hospitalized. I fear I may be seeing the same psychosis in Dylan.
So yeah, Freddy is now in our world officially. Out of the dream world. He broke through.
To think all these delusions brought on by a cheap horror movie.
I love it right there. That great little touch of the meta in the script. I mean, I know that they're talking about, you know, characters from A New Nightmare, but that joke right there is a nicely placed joke. What the hell?
Hello?
Awesome.
Who's there? Mr. Porter, is that you? Dylan?
Dave is just killing it here with the voice. Oh, Kevin McAllister got her too. Really like this camera movement there. Yeah, and that.
Never fight again.
Oh yeah. Oh, the little slices.
What's up, Doc?
Who are you?
Was the
Dave.
murder? Don't you recognize a cheap horror movie when you see one?
Freddy?
Sometimes.
How are you real?
Yeah, you better apologize for that, Gary. How dare you tell them that you want more? Yeah, I hope there's more too, man.
Damn you.
Oh yeah, damn you.
They've tried.
Playing with the wound.
Time's up, Doc.
Dave's got like, he's like a dancer that studied all the poses, and like you must do like massive amount of mirror work because he's just got it all down to such a T. Awesome. Love that little like head slap Dave does there. Great little touch. Very Freddy. You're missing a dream catcher, Dylan. Catch on. Catch on. Yeah, Paul, they do. I mean, that's the thing is, because I've heard Robert talk about how he did Freddy in like those asymmetrical poses, like the glove out off the side of his hip. He said it was influenced by Bob Fosse. So he got like, he picked up on like dancing poses and just sort of like, how do I look unique? Like, what about my physical attributes can I do to make this character stand out? And you can tell that Dave, studied that. I mean, Dave comes in with the natural ability and, his background of doing vocal work. So the Freddy voice was never anything that I, would ever be concerned with coming from Dave. But yeah, seeing those mannerisms and the posing and all that kind of stuff, it's, you have to buy into that, especially with these horror characters. You guys have heard me say that you can't just put a stunt guy like even in a Michael Myers costume or a Jason costume because it doesn't always look right. And there has to be a certain amount of finesse to playing those characters for them to really seem real, or at least seem like the versions that we know.
Hello?
Billy? It's Mom.
Man, Miko just brings it right here. So good. And Deandra doing Heather's voice. And they leave you wanting more, folks. How awesome is that? I want more right now, but this theme song is pretty killer. I actually like that. And again, another example, like with Never Hike Alone 2, not necessarily the kind of music I would just put on to listen to, but it fits the picture. It fits the whole style and the vibe. I like it. And the chorus is catchy too. But yeah, Deandra doing Heather's voice there at the end, like, that's a really good imitation. I thought it could have been Heather. When I saw it at Mad Monster, I was like, no way. But clearly that's got to be, job number one, or at least, on the list of wants for Dylan's New Nightmare Part 2 would be to be able to bring in Heather the way that, Vin was able to bring in Tom in a bigger role for Never Hike Alone 2. Yeah, Toronto Freddy. This chorus. Yeah. It's got this song kind of has that late 90s, like new metal kind of Korn, Limp Bizkit, like that whole era kind of thing. Fits the end of the movie so well. And then Lord Gary, are you still in the chat? Where are you here? You got to be popping up somewhere, right? Or did I miss you? What's up, Kate? Death Ray. Nice, Gary. So yeah, so Gene, you had asked where I get the Death Ray moniker in my name, and explain Death Ray. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying, Kate. Here, there we go, Rex. And all respect to Rex. Well, hell yeah, guys. That was, man, it's a breeze, right? Every time I watch it, it seems like that, 28 minutes or so of the film just flies right by. And it leaves you wanting more, which I think, maybe one of the biggest criticisms I have for some of the other fan films I've seen, certainly not Never Hike Alone 2 because it moves so briskly. But I have seen some fan films, they maybe run a little too long. I think leaving people wanting more, because a lot of times a fan film is kind of like a proof of concept. I think it's a really great idea to, whatever kind of art you're making, to just, take a step back and look at it and see if there's something that you can, take out just to make it more concise and please that audience. Of course, when you're making something, you want every little bit of your being and everything you've thought of to be in there, like ideally. But also, you just have to keep in mind you're trying to, catch an audience. So, I think Dylan's New Nightmare is the perfect length. Like, honestly, I could watch, like, if it were 3 or 4 parts that told the whole story, and then you've got a long movie, right? That you could just watch front to back if you want. So, hell yeah. Yeah, everyone, throw some love out there Cecil's way. And you know what? If you haven't seen it on the channel itself, if you haven't gone over to the Horror Show channel and watched it, go over there and give it a view, because that whole warning that was up there about the may contain suicide images and stuff, YouTube makes it pretty difficult for people to find it. It's a lot less easy to find than Never Hike Alone 2 and other horror fan films because of those 2 shots during the audition scene. So go throw them some support. And please visit the link in the description below so you can check out some of the perks we went over earlier, and you can pick up a copy of the Blu-ray, get some autographs, get a poster, or pick up one of those screen-used items if you're a collector that likes grabbing that kind of stuff. So yeah, Gene, you had asked about the Death Ray moniker. And I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so I can think a bit more. So I'm a huge Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan, Gene, and one of my favorite episodes is a movie called Danger Death Ray. And so when I was playing music and I was in a band that we were, we were kind of changing the structure of the band, and we wanted to come up with a brand new name. So I was like, let's call the band Danger Death Ray. We played pop punk, and I thought that a name like Danger Death Ray was perfect for that kind of music. So and then we all picked silly stage names, and I picked Davey Death Ray as my stage name. So a whole bunch of people that I started getting to know at that time knew me as Davey Death Ray. When I met Kate, that's how she got to know me. At least, she calls me Davey. And, so it just went from there. And I just figured with the channel, instead of trying to think of a name for the channel, I'll just name it after myself, because I'm going to be the main attraction, so to speak, on the channel. But hey, now we've got another main attraction. We've got Kate Schwartz. That's right, my wife not only was on a review for Late Night with the Devil, but we also just shot our very first episode of Movie Date with Davey and Kate. That's where we cover a film that we both know really well, and we talk about our memories of it, and then we go through all the ins and outs of the film as well. And we do that show live so we can talk to you guys about your experiences with that film. A whole bunch of you guys were there on in the chat during the episode the other night, so I'm more saying this for the people that watch this after the fact. But yeah, it's super fun to do that with Kate, and it looks like our next film is going to be Friday the 13th Part 2, because we put out some polls, and it is killing the competition. The poll on Instagram is all closed up, but if you go to Twitter or you go to YouTube, you can vote there. So we put up Friday the 13th Part 2, Fletch, Beetlejuice, and 10 Things I Hate About You. And yeah, so it looks like the next one's probably going to be Friday the 13th Part 2, unless you guys go out there and vote and change that. And now, Nancy and the Nightmares. That's right, Allie. Look at that crew. What a great bunch. We even have somebody photoshopped in there. I love it. That's beautiful. Hell yeah. Well, let's go back over to the main here. Gene, so you say you're a fan of MST3K. Have you seen that episode, Danger Death Ray? Robert, you are welcome, man. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat, answering our questions, and kicking it with everyone here. Really cool to see some of the cast and crew come by and hang out. You know, I think that's another reason why I like showing support for these kinds of projects is these people are approachable. They're great people. And, you know, like I say a lot on the channel, we've got to lift each other up. That's what the community is all about here. And, you know, maybe right around the corner in your life is something like a YouTube channel or being involved as a producer on a film like this. Or maybe if you live in the area where one's being shot, you could do something like whatever it is. Like Robert did all sorts of stuff, wore so many hats. He cooked food. He helped with the props and post and pre-production and worked on the sets and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's this filmmaking is this collaborative effort. It's really cool when a team of people come together, they all know their roles, and they're able to create something that no one person could create by themselves. When they do that collectively as a team, that's what makes film my favorite version of literature, you know, versus like books. And nothing against books. I think books are great. I think they're very, very important, obviously. But it's really cool to see, you know, sometimes hundreds or thousands of people come together to make a film. It's awesome stuff. And you know what? I hope the next time that they do a little production here, if I can hold a light or go get coffee, whatever the hell I can do to help, I'll do that. And if that opportunity isn't there, then I'll help out like this. You know, I just try to do whatever I can when I believe in something, when I'm proud of what people are doing. So that's really what this was all about. It's, you know, it's great fun hanging out with you guys, of course, and doing a commentary. I'm a big talker, and so I love watching a movie that I've seen a bunch of times and talking about it. But ultimately, it was to share the perks on the Finishing Funds page, because that's wrapping up on April 30th. So you've just got, you know, a few weeks here to go over to the site and support the film and, you know, and get a piece of, you know, a Nightmare on Elm Street history, essentially. I mean, even if you pick up a copy of that on Blu-ray, you've got something that, yeah, people can go watch it on YouTube, but you've actually got a copy there. Like, you could take it to a friend's house and pop it in. Like, or if you're somebody like me, you just like having physical media, just feels good to hold something tangible, to see it right in front of your face. There's just something about that. It's so much more satisfying than the click of a button, you know? Absolutely. And that was little Ben that was photoshopped. I thought so. It's kind of tough to tell. I don't have the biggest monitor. I don't have the big Cecil monitor here. I'm just like running off a laptop, Robert. But yeah, I was like, that looks kind of like Ben. Yeah, he probably had to run off and go work on something else because he's so damn talented. He's probably all over the place with his schedule there. All right, and Gene, you have seen Danger Death Ray. I love that episode so much. I actually think that the Danger Death Ray, the movie, yeah, the effects are terrible. Like all the like stuff that looks like it was filmed in a tub, toy boat, all that kind of stuff. If you go up there, you're gonna turn into a toy. All that stuff is pretty bad. But I think as a whole, Danger Death Ray is like, you know, not that bad for a Mystery Science Theater movie. Tyler says, I've got some cool films I'm doing VFX on this year. DNN 2 ought to be one of them. Yeah, you know, and I don't know what the schedule looks like as far as shooting for DNN 2 goes. Like, I don't know, you know, if they even have a target time to start the next production. And you say you might want something signed or maybe a Rex. Yeah. Yeah, get a Rex. Hey, you know what? You could probably reach out, get a Rex, and be like, is there any way to get that signed? Although maybe they probably did all the signatures and stuff beforehand, I would imagine, so that way they don't have to ship stuff all around the country. Paul says physical media is the best. Once you have something, you have it forever and no one can take it down or take it away. Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. And Allie says, I'm afraid YouTube might go away one day. Well, gosh, I hope not, Allie. But yeah, I mean, you never know when like businesses change hands because now, YouTube is part of Google, I think, right? So you just never know what's going to happen when all that goes down. But man, YouTube has been going strong for a really long time. It's my favorite. I know I've said this before too. It's my favorite, streaming service or just place to watch. Like I'm way more likely to put a video on YouTube of just somebody kind of like me talking about something they're passionate about than putting on like an episode of a TV show. Absolutely. I'm sure there's lots to get in order. Yeah, I would say 2025. Yeah, the soonest probably. Yeah, let me get some water, guys. Sorry. That popcorn dries you out. But yeah, guys, this has been a fun little stream here. I know what I usually do here is just talk forever, and it's like the stream never ends. If there's anything that you guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, or if you have anything you want to say about the film or bounce off me before we, say goodnight, we could probably go another 10 minutes or so here. But I am going to go live tomorrow at noon Eastern. We're going to do our weekend kind of roundup. Last week I didn't get to do it on Sunday because it was Easter, but we're going to get back into that where, we'll kind of review what we covered on the channel so far this week. We're going to talk about goals for 2024. We just entered the second quarter of 2024. So And this is not just about me telling you guys what my goals are. I want to know what you guys have that you want to get done this year. So kind of like a little bit of like an accountability group. Now, I'm not going to like badger you, or maybe I will if that's what you want. I don't know. DM me if that's what you're looking for. But the idea here is to kind of, now that we're out of that first quarter of the year, we're technically not like at the beginning of the year. I want to know what you guys want to accomplish this year, whether it's a professional goal or a personal goal, just something by this time next year that you want to look back at and be like, I did it, or even like I'm still in the process of doing it, but I started that process. We'll get into that. I'll tell you all about like my personal goals and goals for the channel and all that kind of stuff. I'm excited to talk to you guys about that. And maybe even do a little reflection on the last year of my life. Because if you followed the channel for any amount of time, you know that, last April, I started making like a series of changes in my life. So we're coming up on 12 months of a little bit of a new Davy, so to speak. If I can talk about myself in the third person, if you don't mind. But yeah, come on by tomorrow at noon Eastern. We'll talk about the channel. We'll talk about our goals for 2024 and whatever else you guys want to talk about. I know that Maxine trailer is dropping on Monday, so maybe we can chit chat about that a little bit. I am definitely going to hop on and do a reaction to that, although I'll have to wait until I'm out of work on Monday, but we'll get that out for you guys Monday night. And yeah, anything you guys got here, let me check in on the chat. YouTube is very addictive. You are right, Gary, especially when I go down, I have a lot of different interests. So I go down like video game rabbit holes, movie rabbit holes, then just horror movie rabbit holes. Sometimes I watch like some politics stuff on YouTube, although not as much lately. Other times I'm watching like sports stuff because I'm a big sports fan. So I'm all over. YouTube doesn't know how to pigeonhole me, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes I find that there are other YouTubers that do a similar thing that I do, and I haven't even heard of them, even though they have way more subscribers than I have. And it's probably because I watch so many different things on YouTube that they really don't know like where to put me, So YouTube will never die. Thank you for a great time. Thank you so much for coming in. I wish if I could read your name, I would say thank you blank for so much for coming in. Let me know your name so I can give you a shout out here on the live streams there. All right. Gary, so you and I are going to be competing for the same audience at noon? Come on, man. All right. No worries, Gary. No worries. Yeah, Allie, if you can't hop in, even if you can hop in for a minute, no big deal. You know, it'll be a quick one for sure. I know I was kind of bare on content this last week, other than movie date and all that. But, you know, we're kind of working a little bit of a schedule here. So it sounds like with the way that Kate and I feel about movie date is that those are going to be every other week. So I know we initially said once a month, but I think we had such a fun time, a great time hanging out with you guys. And they're pretty easy to do because we don't have to worry about multiple takes. It's not a pre-recorded show where there's any editing or anything like that. So, you know, when I do foolish things like click to end the stream, but then I keep on talking on the mic even though you don't see us, like all that kind of stuff, that stays in there. You're watching from Haru, watching from Japan. That is awesome, Haru. Thank you so much for coming by. What time is it in Japan? I'm curious. And is it the 6th or is it the 7th in Japan? I don't know, because I don't know if we're going across the date line with the time there. That's so awesome, Haru. Yeah, there was a gentleman, David Irwin, who was popped in for movie date for a moment. He was watching from Ireland. We've had Wade Effin Wilson, I think is his name, in the chat. He is watching from the UK. He works, I think, like a graveyard shift kind of thing, doing stocking at a retail store. So it's so cool to see people from all over the world come into the channel. Yeah, thank you so much for coming by. That is so awesome. I think that's one of the best things about YouTube. Not only getting to know people in the community, you know, people like Cecil and Robert that actually live in the same area that I do, and Fuego as well. So I'm able to hang out with those guys and all that kind of stuff. But to be able to, you know, commune and hang out with people all over the world, that is so awesome. I would love to go to Japan one day. I grew up, Haru, in Southeast Alaska. So very similar weather, you know, like evergreen trees, rain, like lots of fog, lots of, you know, just the kind of weather and the kind of atmosphere that makes you want to like light a candle, put a blanket on and watch a movie or curl up with a book or something like that. So I would love to check out Japan. And I bet my wife, Kate, would absolutely adore Japan because she is a sushi nut. And I bet you get the freshest of the fresh there right off the water. So yeah, maybe we got to make that trip sometime. Send me your tips, your pro tips for what to do in Japan. Not all the normal tourist stuff, some cool things that maybe not everybody knows about, or not all the tourists are smart enough or clever enough to figure out on their own. Wow, 10:24 in the morning, or in the morning of the 6th or the morning of the 7th. All right. Tyler says, that's rad. Not to sound too lonely, but I wish there were cool people like you guys local to me. You know, it seems to be getting tougher in this day and age, right, Tyler, to find people like to actually hang out with. And I think sometimes like the older you get, at least for me, like I become a little bit more of a homebody. So, and then we live in a city that's so spread out. Like when I go over and visit Cecil and we do stuff on the Horror Show channel, it takes me about an hour to get over there. And that's like no traffic. So it's just the distance, you know, Phoenix is such a spread out city. So, but yeah, I totally hear you. I think that's something that as you go into adulthood is tougher to find, or there's just not as much of it. And that's why, to me, it's so important, like mental health wise and all that stuff, to just the act of creating is good for mental health, but also being able to jump in on the live streams with you guys is amazing. And that's one of the big reasons why Kate and I decided to do Movie Date as a live show, because we saw that from our audience, that you guys wanted the interaction, and we were like, you know what, we want it too. Let's just go that route. And you're going to see a lot more live content as the channel continues to grow. So yeah, we're just 27 away from 500, and it's just going to keep on going up from there, hopefully with all the collaborations we've got cooking up. So yeah. You're too sweet, Haru. Sending heart from over here. That is too sweet. Also, Hello Kitty, says Kate. Yes, she loves Hello Kitty. And I love Nintendo. There's so much. It's a really interesting relationship, United States and Japan. It is a very interesting relationship. Not only just, you know, more of the ugly stuff in the political past that our countries have. But I think more importantly, the way the people of the United States and the way the people of Japan have an obsession with one another's culture. I think it's a really cool, interesting relationship, especially when you consider not only do the countries not speak the same language, but don't even use the same kind of writing as far as like characters and all that stuff goes. So it's like even more removed from something like English versus Spanish. So I think it just speaks to something that Japan and the United States do well, both countries. Hard work, creativity, and having fun. I think like both countries do those things so well, and we respect when we see that, from other, reflected from other countries. Absolutely. Oh, Tyler wants to make music. Well, hey man, come on out to Phoenix and we'll make some music. I'm dying for some. I need to fill that music hole. Local friends are 3 people I went to high school with and 1 from college. Paul, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. And like, I think a lot of people, they just end up moving at some, like, moved away from Alaska like 20 years ago or something like that. And Kate grew up in the Detroit area and now she's living out here. So you don't always have those connections to, to that past if you move from your hometown and others don't. So yeah, that's awesome though. Gary, have a great birthday, man. Happy birthday. Tomorrow I'll sing for you. Even if you're not in the chat, I'll still sing for you. Or maybe I'll put a little recording together and shoot it to you over on Instagram, man. Yeah, guys, I guess it is 6:30. We've been going for an hour and a half. Now is as good a time as any to call it a night here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me and watching Dylan's New Nightmare. Check out the link in the description below to subscribe to the Horror Show channel if you haven't already. There's also a link for Womp Stomp Films if you haven't done that. And check out the link for the Indiegogo Finishing Funds campaign. Go pick up a copy, digital or DVD or Blu-ray. Go grab something and show your support for this film and all of the awesome people on the team over there at the Horror Show channel and Womp Stomp Films. My name on Letterboxd Gene is Davey Deathray. I think, yeah, because I think it's got it down there. So it's either... Yeah, and I think it might be like Davey Deathray 82 on TikTok. But if you look up Davey Deathray on any of those platforms, you should be able to find me. You'll see my silly little logo there. Have a great night, Allie. Take care. And yeah, guys, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends if you got somebody that you think would enjoy this kind of content. I will be back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, to see what you guys have planned for 2024 and share my goals with you as well. So until then, I've been and will continue to be Davey Deathray. Take care.